Hey guys, today I wanted to do a different type of video for you for your educational purposes on kind of finding your physique and fine-tuning it from show to show. So this year we had a really good opportunity with Phoebe. Everything really went kind of as planned for her this year. You know, we did the UK Arnold and we won the UK Arnold. It was the first show we did of the year. We won it. And she got her Olympia qualification, which gave us a really good opportunity for us to try different looks, for us to try different things to see what the judges would like. And I want to kind of show you behind the scenes of how that all went down, the different looks that she brought this year while she was out here in Vegas. And it was just a great trip, a great time. Unfortunately, I got COVID, so I didn't get to go to as many of the shows as I wanted. But with her out here, we were able to really push it, really try different things. And I'm kind of going to take you down the journey and show you kind of how it went down and what the thought processes was and how you can apply this same thing to your physique when you're doing shows and trying to figure out what's the best look for you. Is it tighter? Is it fuller? Is it a little flat? What's the best thing for you? And this is kind of how you find your range. Now, this picture here is from the UK Arnold. We knocked it out of the park here. There's very little we looked at where we could make these big improvements on. At this point, it's just bikini sculpting. And so we said, you know what, we're going to go for it when you come out here. We're going to try a whole bunch of different things because we're already qualified for the Olympia. And let's just see which ones the judges like better. We got her in front of the judges who are going to be at the Olympia. Tyler, Sandy, Tamer, Tarek. We got her in front of those judges because they're going to be ones at the Olympia. Showed them some different looks, got some good feedback. Itala was there as well. Got some good feedback and really found, I think, what we're going to be bringing to the Olympia too. So this is something that I'll do with a lot of bikini competitors and to find the range, you know. So this is her UK Arnold win, which was great. And if we wanted to be consistent and competitive, we could have brought that look at every show. But this is something that I also did, if you guys remember, way back in 2017 with Ashley when we brought her back from, she took a year off. We brought her back, 2017, 18, I forget the year. It was like 4 years ago, something like that. Anyway, we brought her back. Everyone was like, oh, she's too lean now. She's too lean. We brought her in tight. I knew it wasn't too lean. She won the show. So it's not too lean if you win the show. But we got some good feedback and the judges were like, yeah, she's bordering on being just a little too lean. So it was good to find that range. That was the bottom range of her being lean. So now we know, hey, a couple pounds above that, that's probably going to be what the judges like for you. And so we tried that and we went all the way to softer levels too. So you could see this happening at the upper levels when you're trying to figure out what's the best absolute look for a girl. And I'm going to kind of take you on the journey we did with Phoebe to figure out how we came to the conclusion of what where she should be. So we started off our trip, unfortunately not in the best scenario for her coming out here and having like the best couple days before the show to load up. So the original plan was for her to come out, I think it was on a Tuesday, out to Vegas, or it might have even been Monday, and have her start doing the loading process. We brought her down from the UK at this point. I said, you know what, we're going to bring you in shredded to this show. We're going to see how it goes in front of Itala and Tyler, bringing you in shredded to this show. And we're going to fill you out. We're still going to fill you out as much as we can without going too crazy. And it unfortunately didn't work out. Her flights got delayed. If you saw her YouTube, she's got a great YouTube channel. Her flights got delayed. I never like loading anyone while they're on a flight. For some reason, while I'm loading someone while they're on the flight, they tend to hold more water. And she was on a 28-hour flight from Dubai to straight to California or Nevada. I think it was Nevada. Allegiance is either California or Nevada. Instead of being at my house for a week. So she flew in on a Thursday. She competed on a Saturday or competed on a Sunday. Flew on a Friday, competed on a Sunday is what it was. And so it was really, really tight with the load. We had basically 1 day to load, and this is after us depleting down, cutting down. It totally changed the plans. for, I think, a period of 2 weeks. We were going really hard. So this show, we were unable to fill her out. But I said, you know what? We're going to take advantage of this, and we're just going to bring you in tight, and we're going to bring you in a little bit flat, not 100% full. And when I say flat, a little bit flat, it doesn't mean like you're flat like crazy. So there's a lot of people who compete who don't compete 100% full. So with Phoebe, this was her at her bottom range, her tightest, her leanest, and also not her fullest. So I would say her, if you want to call it her flattest. After this show, you know, we both knew that she could be a little bit fuller at this one, but we said, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. She did great. She got second place against top competitors, got second place against an Olympian. And it was a really good look. The judges liked the look, but they said, you know what, you need to be a little bit fuller. You look like you lost a little bit of size from your last show. And they were right. You know, she was a little bit smaller. It does look like she lost some size for her last show. So we said, okay, we have 2 weeks now. We got some good feedback. The judges want you fuller. We know that the tight, smaller look isn't for you, for what they want for you. So we went back to the drawing board. We had ample time to fill out and to go through it and to bring a different look to the next show, which we did. So guys, here is an example of range, okay? This is Phoebe, I would say, at the smallest. You'll probably never see her like this again. You know, as long as we don't run into that same type of scenario with the load again, coming from a different country. And this is Phoebe at her fullest. Okay, so this is not a lot of time, guys. This is just a couple weeks in between these two, and the difference is simply the approach of carbohydrates between the two. Now, I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys could really see it, since I know a lot of you are watching on Instagram. And look at the dramatic difference of shoulders, look at the glutes, look at the leg density, and the conditioning is still about the same. There's not a big difference in conditioning here, just a lot fuller physique, a lot fuller. Now, this is the range of Phoebe. You know, this is her at her smallest, this is her at her biggest. And the judges, after this show, said maybe a little bit too full, right? They said maybe a little bit too full. She didn't have the, she competed against some all the shows out here this year have been really high level towards the end. I mean, Laura Lee won the last two shows to tell you how high of a level it was. There was 4 Olympians at the last show. I think 3 of them were top 10. So the shows have been really, really high level. So with this fullness was her lowest placing when she was out here. And it showed, okay, maybe just a little bit too full. And here's a back shot to show you kind of the difference of the legs and the glutes and the shoulders and everything here too. Obviously a lot fuller in this one, but still didn't pay the price for conditioning. So sometimes you can pay the price for conditioning when you're going and you're chasing fullness. But with Phoebe, we kept her about the same level of conditioning, but this was quite full. When you see her next to the girls, she was definitely one of the more muscular girls there by a pretty far margin. So the judges, exactly what we thought. They said, oh, you know what, she's a little bit too full now. And so I think this is a good lesson for people to learn. One, you got to try different things. You got to find your range and what the judges like on your physique specifically. But 2, especially the European girls, I hear more from them than anyone else. I'm flat, I'm flat, I'm flat. Well, being 100% full might not be the goal for you, okay? It might for some of you, but for a lot of you, it might not. You know, you might look better 90% full. You might look better, even some of you, even 80% full. You don't need to necessarily be full if your muscles look good without being 100% full. Just because, and that's the problem that people run into, is they're always chasing fullness, not knowing if that's even the right approach for them. So we went to the next show. We said, you know what, we're going to have you about 95, 92% full at this next one. And I think that's going to be the look. That's going to be the perfect look from what the judges are asking for, especially the American judges out here that are going to be at the Olympia. So now as we come to the final conclusion of Phoebe at the Iron Games, you can see how she's evolved from show to show. So you can see here the level of density, the level of fullness on how everything's changed, and how she's now reached that perfect balance in between the three. Now she's a little bit tighter here than she was in the previous two shows, but she's also a little bit flatter here than she was in the previous show, giving her her best look. From what the judges even said, they liked this look best. Now, Phoebe's still very new in competing. She's 3 years in as a pro, and we still need to work on a little things like some density in her legs. But all in all, everything's coming together the way we need to. This trip has been very good. We found her range. We found what looks best on her, and it wasn't what everyone would think, which would be 100% fullness. So, and if you could take a look at these evolution of these three, I think that it'd be hard to deny that this was her best look, which is crazy because everyone would just assume that fuller is better and that's her best look. Now, in terms of muscularity and you might like this look best. I think it's a pretty cool look. She looks super fit and athletic and sporty. But remember, there is a limit to how much muscle in bikini that you can have. And this is just, for her frame, just slightly passing it. So right in the middle here, perfect balance. Everything's looking exactly as we need it to. We still need to do some fine tuning, of course. But we're well on our way. We learned a lot with this trip. And I hope that you all can learn a little bit from this and fine tune your physique and push the limits a little bit. Push the conditioning sometimes, push the fullness sometimes. Try to learn, try to learn at every show. Do a few shows and see what is your best look. So as you could see, the evolution here, this is just a few weeks of evolution and how we ended up here. And I do think her weight will be around here for the Olympia with a little bit more density is the goal. But this is we've fine-tuned, and I think this is the look we're going to go for at the Olympia. This is the best feedback we've gotten from the judges, and we've got to learn a lot about her physique during this trip. Some of it was intentional. Some of it, like this one, was a little bit less, but as cool as we learned, here's the range between these two, here's the balance, and I hope that you guys learn a thing or two from this. You don't always play it safe. You're not always trying to go for the same exact look. And you're trying to evolve as a competitor and do what's necessary to get you to the next level. Get that feedback, get in front of the right judges, and learn and evolve from show to show. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to do physique assessments through the website and assess your physique as well. To just go to teamelitephysique.com for that. If you need any posing help, Phoebe is a master poser. Go to the posing portal. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you next time.